Hello, everyone, and welcome to this segment of CommYOUnity, a show by Encompass Community Supports, where we are so proud to bring you information and resources to help you and your loved ones navigate the somewhat rocky road which we call life. I'm Tammy Barboza, your host, and thank you so much for watching. I am so proud to introduce two guests on today's show. Our Senior Director of Behavioral Health Services, Ms. Ryan Banks, and our Director of Community Transitions, Ms. Katie Lindsay. Ryan and Katie, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So our focus for today's show is helping folks navigate through the holidays, which is a happy time for many, but a very emotional and vulnerable time for many as well. Let's start with our first question about mental health, and it's often affected during the holiday season. Katie, what are some of the most common reasons why people have difficulties over the holidays?
I think some of the most common reasons are because of anxiety relating to families being close together. Usually throughout the year, they're not as close together, and now they're going to be all in one space, and maybe there's some conflict.
We don't know anything about that, do we? No.
Anxiety regarding finances and being able to provide for your family during the time when you're expected to come up with presents and lots of meals. So maybe some past history of bad experiences can bring up negative feelings, negative thoughts around this time.
And also the loss of loved ones during the holidays, I can imagine.
Especially now, right? So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of loss. So yeah,
we have a number of resources at Encompass Community Supports, one of them being the S.E.E Recovery Center, Ryan. And for those who are not aware, the S.E.E Recovery Center opened its doors in August of 2021. So we're going on about 2.5 years now. What is the S.E.E Recovery Center, and how does it provide support for folks?
So we are very proud of our S.E.E Recovery Center. It is a peer-run drop-in center that is open to the public, and it is free of charge. We offer a multitude of groups to support folks with a lot of different challenges. We have gender-specific groups for women, for men. We have groups that focus on trauma, groups that focus on general mental health, groups that focus on substance use issues. And we're open 7 days a week with various different hours. And so we hope that it's accessible to everyone and that people are able to take advantage of that. The best way to reach the S.E.E Recovery Center to get more information is either through our web-based calendar, which will provide all of the different offerings each month. A lot of the groups stay the same, but each month we do also change up some groups to address specific needs that have been identified.
And might I add, we will have a QR code on the screen for folks to have easy, quick access to the calendar. It's the same QR code each and every month, but the calendar changes, as Ryan mentioned, with many different programs and activities, some family-friendly as well.
Yes, we do have family-friendly Grill and Chill is an annual event that happens in the summer. We have had seasonal events where we've had a costume event, we've had dances, we have Friendsgiving that we offer as well to the community. So we definitely try to make sure that there are a lot of different things. We have family arts and craft nights. So there are a lot of different opportunities to bring family out as well to experience it.
A peer recovery specialist. What is meant by that term?
So that is someone who has lived experience either for themselves or they have experience caring for someone who has either struggled with substance use issues or mental health challenges. And so they use their lived experience to help others navigate the mental health system or to receive services and to hopefully get individuals on a path to their own recovery.
That is so meaningful. It's almost like I've been there, I've lived through it, I've been in your shoes where you are, even though each case is individual and unique. But to have that rapport, a one-on-one rapport with someone, I would think would be priceless.
It is a very, very valuable resource that we have available, and we are very proud of our peer recovery specialists that we have working in the community and at the S.E.E Center.
And again, it's free of charge.
It is free of charge.
All of the programs, all of the services coming out of the S.E.E Recovery Center.
Yes.
Free of charge.
The S.E.E Recovery Center is 100% free to the public.
Amazing. Katie, you are, and congratulations on your fairly new role, Director of Community Transitions. Let's break that down. What does that mean?
So the population that I mostly work with are people coming out of the state psychiatric hospital. We have 8, including Western State Hospital, Piedmont Geriatric Hospital, Central State Hospital. And so they are transitioning from maybe longer term stays at a state hospital to the community. So one of the things we're tasked with is to find appropriate places for them to live that might provide the amount of support that they need based on where they are in their lives. So that we have several programs, and one of the ones that is under my program is Liberty Transitional Housing, which is a transitional housing program that's 12 months, and it is for individuals who are coming out of the state hospital but not quite ready to live independently. And so we have staff who are there 24 hours a day who work on independent living skills and work on financial resources and getting them set up with their treatment, ongoing treatment. So they can be there for about 12 months, and then they transition hopefully into something more independent, like an apartment.
So Liberty is staffed 24/7.
It is staffed 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to be able to get into Liberty is if you're coming out of a state psychiatric hospital. But we are also working with individuals who are in jails that may be struggling with serious mental illness. So we have the forensic population that are also eligible. Mm-hmm. So if they're coming out of jail and they need the same level of support, they are eligible for Liberty.
And by forensic population, what does that mean?
People coming out of the jails.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but they also have to also be dealing with serious mental illness on top of their legal struggles.
Speaking of mental illness and mental health, Ryan, what is the number one reason why people, in your experience, your vast experience, why folks do not seek supports for mental health?
Yeah, I believe the number one reason, unfortunately, is that there is still a large stigma around having mental health challenges. And a lot of people feel like seeking out help shows weakness. There's something wrong with them. And a lot of people do not want to project that. And so a lot of people end up waiting too long to seek help, and then it becomes a much more dire situation, a much more emergent, urgent situation. And so that is one thing that we at Encompass Community Supports have really been trying to do in our community is reduce stigma around seeking help for mental health, because mental health challenges are common, and there is no reason why people shouldn't seek out treatment. And we're here to help. There are a lot of resources in the community to help, and we hope that in the future there will be less stigma and people will feel more comfortable seeking out mental health support, just as someone might seek out physical health if they had a physical health problem.
Very well put. Folks, you may not know what resources are in place unless you ask. And you can start with a phone call. Start by a visit to the S.E.E. Recovery Center. We will have the physical address on the screen, which is 710 U.S. Avenue, right here in downtown Culpeper. Or go to our website, which, by the way, is a newly launched website, so completely revamped. We have the S.E.E. Recovery Center right on the homepage, news and information, and access to the calendar right from the homepage. So I'd like to ask both of you, you are in the field of behavioral health, mental health, community services. What motivated you to enter this field, and what keeps you motivated day after day?
Katie, would you like to take it first?
Well, it's an interesting path. It's not the one that lots of people take. I went to school originally to be a marine biologist. And
I can see the, yes, there's a connection
so
there.
as I was doing my schooling and not doing well in biology, I was in the background acing all of my psychology courses. And so when it came time to declare a major, it was psychology. And so being that I had to do an internship, I ended up at a psychiatric hospital in where I went to school. And so it was an inpatient psychiatric hospital for kids. And it was it was 3 to 18. And for some reason, I just have an innate draw, I guess, to the people who are at their worst. Because I think since I started at the psychiatric hospital, I've always been working with individuals who are at the worst time in their lives. No matter what role I play in the behavioral health, it's always somebody who's probably at their worst. And so I would say the reason I stay in it is because I have always been rewarded by the seeing people recover from the worst time of their lives. And so that's what keeps me motivated.
And if I might say, Katie is extremely good at her job, and she's very creative, and she does a very good job at helping people when they are in the hardest part of their life, being able to see past where they are currently and that they can have a more positive future, and that it'll just take time and that they can, utilize the support. And she's had a lot of successes with individuals.
I can see how this teamwork works very well. Yes. Ryan, what motivates you?
So I have a very slightly different path, maybe. I kind of always knew that I wanted to do psychology. I think it started because people always found it easy to talk to me. And so I think my personality kind of lended itself to that. And then as I started getting into school, started being very interested in the human behavior and human condition, and wanting to be able to impact that in a positive way. I did family therapy for 10 years and have now moved to program development, where I feel very passionate about being able to bring new, needed resources to our community to be able to impact our community members in a positive way. And so that's what keeps me going, is to be able to continue to grow what we're able to offer our community.
Well, I feel our agency, Encompass Community Supports, is extremely fortunate to have you both. Might I just add?
Thank you.
Yes. This is the holiday season. Many of us, our anxiety is at a high. Our emotions can be ebbing and flowing during this season. What message would you like to leave folks with? Ryan?
What message would I like to leave folks with? I think the best message that we could leave people is, do not suffer in silence. Do not feel like you have to be alone. There are resources available. Reach out, make a phone call a trusted friend, and let them know what's going on with you. And better days can be found, even if today feels like it's the worst day.
Katie?
So yesterday I was scrolling through my Facebook and I came across a quote that went something, it really resonated with me. And it said something along the lines of, you deserve to feel the love that you give. And I think that's the message I would send.
What more is there to say? I mean, both of your responses just sum it up in a nicely bowed package, quite honestly. We're here for folks. Reach out to us. Our contact information is on the screen for you, and you won't know until you ask, until you reach out. We're here for both you and your loved ones. Might I thank you again for tuning into this episode of CommYOUnity. This is a show for you and for your loved ones to navigate, again, the ebbing and flowing of life. We're here for you, and please keep that in mind, and please reach out to us. Thank you, both Ryan and Katie. You were fantastic, and it was such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks. And thanks to you. We will see you for our next episode of CommYOUnity. Thanks, everyone.